Hey, it's time to go behind the wheel with Tony, and this morning he's looking at what to do if your car is stolen.
According to Portland police, more than 8,000 cars were stolen last year in the city. That's about 21 cars every day. Here's Tony with the story of how one local man and his beloved Jeep were reunited.
Her name was Jane, and for 22 years and 200,000 miles, she was there for Hal Griffiths through sun, snow, marriage, and mud. Then one morning, she was gone.
Walked out, to go to work, and couldn't find it. Looked down the street, was like, it must be down there. Walked down the street, I know that's not it. And then you had that voice inside your head like, it's been stolen.
In that moment, Hal became one of thousands in Portland whose cars are stolen every year. According to the Portland Police stolen car stat page, on average, a car was stolen once an hour every day in the month of August. For Hal, the loss was personal.
Yeah, Jane the Jeep. It was the first car I ever bought that I wanted and not could just afford.
Assuming he'd never get her back, Hal nonetheless made the two calls everyone in this position should make. First, he called the police.
Just called the non-emergency number. A police officer called me back, gave me a case number, and kind of went from there.
Next, he got a hold of his insurance agent who set him up with a rental car. Then he waited, and after a month,
I got a phone call from the police records department, and they said that it was in a tow yard in Northwest.
Despite getting swiped, Jane the Jeep was in pretty fair shape with a few odd modifications.
So they sprayed the rims and the tires. The grill used to be silver, but they painted it. Some of it actually looks better. And then the only other thing was the ignition was busted, and the inside was just filled with garbage.
Why it was taken is anyone's guess. As for how, there were a couple of vulnerabilities. First, the Jeep was parked on the street, not in a secure garage, and it was also an older model, which made it an easier target.
It's pretty simple to get into because it's old. It's still manual locks.
In fact, the best protection the Jeep really had was manual transmission, which most people can't even drive.
Which, again, I thought was another deterrent. Like, people don't drive sticks anymore. But apparently they do.
Portland police actually recovered about 90% of the cars stolen last year, although many were stripped or otherwise a total loss.
I really do feel super lucky and fortunate that it turned out the way it did.
Now, Hal uses the club to protect Jane. No deterrent is foolproof, but it can't hurt. He also recommends having and understanding comprehensive car insurance.
So know, how long are you going to be able to get a rental car? Are you going to be able to get a rental car?
As for Hal and Jane, the love affair continues.
And I just never fell out of love with it. I have 3 long-term relationships, and they're my Jeep, my cat, and my wife. You know what I mean?
In that order?
As far as duration, yes. As far as fulfillment, it's reverse order.
I'm Tony Martinez, Fox 12 Oregon. A couple of quick things. If you call that police non-emergency number, they're not going to send out a posse to look for your car, but it kind of puts the VIN number in the system, so if it pops up somewhere, and they usually do, then you'll get the call. The other thing is I asked Hal if it was kind of weird to be in the car again after it had been stolen and gone for a month. He said for him, not so bad, but for his wife, seeing that, it was a little bit more emotional.
I'm sure.
Well, it's funny because I asked about that, and he said, I do still need to get it cleaned.
Yeah.
And she's going, you really need to clean it. And he's like, meh. Well, so I do wonder if he did.
The other thing is it's so common, as you've talked about. Within the same month, it seems, your husband's Jeep was also stolen, but you didn't get the happy ending.
Yeah, we got the car back, but it was completely destroyed. So really, I think it ended up as $300 in metal. So
yes.
Just a bummer.
It's hard for people, so
yeah.
It's good information, though, to know, especially if you want that comprehensive coverage, like you mentioned.
Exactly.
We didn't have that, and so we didn't have any coverage.
Right.
Oh, such a bummer. All right, Tony, thank you.
Yeah.